Hello, my name is Andrew.
Okay. I think we're good there. Oh. Why do we always eat and drink soda before we do these things? I'm gonna grab a water bottle from your fridge. Can you grab me one thing? Yep. Hello and welcome to the 6th episode of Up Until Now podcast. Have we really been at 6 episodes? That's pretty insane.
Yes.
Quite honestly, I thought it wouldn't last this long. I thought we were gonna record like the first 2 or 3 episodes and then we're just gonna stop.
Get bored of it or something?
Yeah, but I legitimately like this.
Me too. I enjoy talking with you. I think that's a huge part of it too because we just get to talk and catch up.
Because I remember before we did this podcast, we'd only talk like every few months or so, just like
Right.
whenever we thought of each other, or like we talk about our road trip and then we like call each other for papitos, which I did like yesterday
Yeah.
or today. Did I do that today?
No, that was yesterday.
Oh, dude, papitos, burritos in San Francisco.
Dude, when you called me for that, the first thing that came to my mind was fried chicken.
I know,
Because I
right?
remember when I was eating it, I was like, there's fucking chicken in here? My mind was freaking blown.
The fried chicken was also delicious, and the sauce was like amazing. There was like drugs in that sauce. I swear to God.
It was so good. I wish I ate 2 of those. Because I ate it so fast, I regret it.
Yeah, me too.
But then, like, it was so good that I couldn't not eat it that
Yeah.
fast.
So to our listeners, when Andrew and I went on our 18-day road trip, we stopped in San Francisco, and my old college roommate happened to live in San Francisco at that time, and he showed us this burrito place called Papitos. It's on Connecticut Avenue. If you guys are listening and you're in San Francisco, please go to that place because it is delicious. Like, my mouth is watering just thinking about it.
And Papitos, if you ever hear this somehow, we would love to work alongside you.
Yes, please. Like, send us burritos or something, and we would like cry.
We'll shout your name out every podcast.
Every podcast from here on out. And I don't know about Andrew, but I think we're going to be planning on doing this for a little while.
And I would eat your product every day until I die.
Agreed.
You know when Esther asked what we could eat for the rest of our lives?
Damn it.
Papitos. I changed my answer. I'm
You're right.
picking
You're
that.
right. Yep. So Esther asked us a question like today. Was it today?
Yesterday.
It was yesterday. We were on a FaceTime chat. She asked us if we can eat one thing every day for the rest of our lives. We said other answers, but now that we thought
I'm
about
ashamed
it,
of my answer.
I am ashamed of my answer as well. But burritos from Papitos.
Oh,
It's fucking mint.
fucking mint.
Fucking mint. So with this being our 6th podcast that we're recording, this is kind of like the time where Andrew and I are legitimately thinking about like putting all of our episodes on a host site and hopefully getting it out onto Spotify and Apple Podcasts, wherever you guys get your podcasts. Now is like the good time for us that we've decided to like really reflect back on why we started this podcast and how it's progressed into what it is. Because Andrew and I have been listening to our podcast like for almost 2 months now. We only have 5 episodes, but we kind of like revisit the episodes and kind of hear how we've developed our podcast and what it is right now. And it just makes us even more excited to see where our podcast is going to be in the future. And I don't know, just going through the first 5 episodes, it's been changing a lot. Like, our format's been changing. We've been more comfortable behind the mic and talking into the microphones. I think it was just really awkward at first. We didn't know what to do with our hands.
Yeah, and I think it's just the fact that like we're so used to it now too. Is like we know when to stop talking and not interrupt each other.
Exactly. And I think it's just been a process. Like, I listened to like the first and second episode. It was a little shaky. I realized that we kind of, in the first 2 episodes, we had like agendas and like checklists that we wanted to check off everything that we wanted to talk about. But now we kind of just talk about what we want to, our overall theme for the episode is for that day, or, you know, for that episode. And we just kind of go along with it and just let the conversation kind of flow out. We have like basic ideas that we want to kind of hit, but it's just becoming more of like a conversation. And like what Andrew said, we kind of know when to pick it up and when the other person's like running out of things to say. So that's always just pretty cool to kind of develop that skill.
And I think it's better this way just because it makes the conversation more genuine.
More genuine, and like the content is like things that we think of, and it's just actual real life things that are on the top of our brain right now. And I can like imagine us like listening to these podcasts like 2-3 years from now and be like, what the fuck, we were babies back then. And like it's just gonna keep progressing like that. And
Like maybe one day we'll be like, why the fuck were we so obsessed with Papitos?
I don't think that's ever gonna happen though.
If they never give us a fucking sponsorship, if they never work with us, I'm gonna be upset.
Even if they don't, man, their burritos are too good to like
In
spite.
10 years, if we're still shouting out to Papitos and they have not done anything and we are big, oh, I'm gonna be mad.
Okay, I'll be a little bit upset, but I don't know. That burrito is just too good. Like, legitimately, it is the best burrito I've ever had in my life.
It is. That is the best burrito I've ever had.
And like, it's borderline like the best food I've ever eaten ever.
Oh yeah, like there's so many different stuff inside there.
Yeah, and it all like just plays so well together. It's like a symphony. It's amazing. It's so fucking good.
It is. San Francisco, you have outdone yourself.
Not San Francisco.
Papitos,
you have outdone yourself. For sure, for real. We're still talking about it, and it's like 10 minutes in. Like, there was one time I was talking to one of my students that I supervise back at work. I literally talked about Papitos for almost an hour and a half. Because this other girl tried to come in and say like, no, this place has really authentic Mexican food and whatever. But I was like, we weren't talking about authenticity. We were just legitimately just talking about taste. You know what I mean?
Like, get out of here with your stupid ass comment. Your ugly, stupid authenticity. Talk about how good it is. Your punk ass.
Reverting back, we just wanted to really talk about like our podcast and how it's developed, and just wanted to thank the people that have been supporting us so far, whether you're listening, just started listening last week, or if you're listening in the future where we're on episode 53 or whatever. We just want to thank you for all the support. And hopefully if you guys are sending us messages, I'm pretty sure we're just going to switch all of our social media to just Instagram. Yeah, just Instagram and email. So I think, yeah, I just want to thank you, because without you guys and without Esther and just like my family and other people that are like listening and just really supporting us, I think we wouldn't be continuing doing this. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
JD and I were talking about how we were listening to like the first episodes and just trying to talk about like where we were when we first started this, like why we started and all that, and just where we are now.
For me personally, when I was the first time we started this episode, it was more to help out a friend, specifically my best friend. We were both kind of in interesting, peculiar, transitional phases in our lives, and we're still in those phases, but we're kind of seeing a silver lining in that. Specifically for me, I was extra help. I was a temp essentially for the university that I was working at, and just this past Monday, I got a call at 10 a.m. saying that I had a full-time job and a full-time position within the university that I'm working at. So just being able to see, even just like these past few months where we were just started to record this podcast, just seeing how much like even a little, how much I've changed from like the part-time job to a full-time job has been pretty crazy. And just the journey that I've been on, even these 5 weeks, or not 5 weeks, but like these past 5 episodes, it's been really nice.
For me, like JD just stated, we started this because you were here to help me out. And I was in a pretty rough spot in life when we first started this. And just looking back on it now, because I feel like, again, now I am in a very great place in life, I feel like. And I wouldn't be here if it weren't for a lot of people in my life. And I kind of want to just take this time to thank some people. First of all, Michelle, my one and only Noons. She was, the older sister. She was always there for me, helping out, giving me advice, and comforting me, and making sure I was okay. Whether I call her at 3 a.m., 4 a.m., she'll pick up the phone and like act as if she's been awake the entire time and no hesitation. I'm so grateful for that. Kevin, my cousin, who really showed me what family means. Me and Kevin are the closest in our family, I guess. We went to school together, we lived together. We're just always doing things together, and he really is just an amazing individual. Even if he wasn't a family member, like, he's just great. Surprisingly, Nicole Lee from church. Me and her have had this older brother, younger sister relationship ever since we first met over 10 years ago. And, it grew, it faded, and it grew. We got to talking again after that snowboarding trip we had. And then we got connected again, and she's just in my life again, and I love it. She's just always there to listen to me, and I'm very grateful to have someone so special in my life. Then there's my best friend and Esther, who have done more than I can ever ask for someone, which I'll never be able to thank them enough. It might not seem that way because they think they're just helping out a friend, but they saved my life, and I wouldn't be here if it weren't for them.
Oh, I'm crying, man.
They did a lot for me, and I'd do anything for them. And last but not least, a new friend that I made. Her name's Ashley. So Ashley actually doesn't know about this. She doesn't know about why I'm going through a rough time or what I went through or anything like that. All she knows is that I have very strong feelings for her. And she knows this, but I thought I'd take this time to sort of explain to it why I have such strong feelings for her. In 2019, I fell and hit rock bottom. And my friends and family, JD, Esther, Michelle, Kevin, Nicole, they were the ones that helped me back on my feet. But Ashley was the one that got me stepping up again to climb out of that hole. She sort of, in a way, gave me confidence. She gave me, I guess confidence is a good word. I didn't think someone can like me for me being me, and I didn't think I could like someone this much again. This was just a special message for Ashley that, I tell her every day, I like you a lot. I'm really glad that I got to meet you, and I hope our friendship can grow more from here. But that's pretty much how my outlook on from where we started to where we are now. And then outside of that, some things happened at work. I got a raise. That's one big thing. I got offered my dream job to go be a teacher. I was all gung-ho for it. I wanted to take it. I got the paperwork, everything. I was ready to do it. But in the end, I came to the decision that I will be going back home where my parents are and my brother and family are, so I can start saving money the correct way and, pretty much plan for my future now, the smart way and the right way. And hopefully, if everything works out, by next year, I should be living hopefully with Kevin again. So that'll be a lot of fun again. I still hope I can find a job in Parks and Rec down there. If not, I'll just use my degree and find a job in a hotel. But yeah, that's where I am in life right now. Very happy again.
good thing, just to be happy and just to be moving forward. I guess a couple questions that I have for you specifically. I think one is like, people think there are a lot of stigmas like going back home and kind of moving in with your parents. Like, what kind of emotions do you have, and what kind of thoughts did you have like leading up to that decision to go back?
So the initial thought was I didn't want to go back. Nothing in the line of, oh, people are gonna judge me or anything like that. It was more of a personal feeling because I was like the first one in my family to branch out and do their own thing and be alone. And to me, I know I shouldn't look at it like this because it's toxic to myself. But the way I look at it is, if I go back, it's almost as if I'm running away from my problems. And I'm pretty much, giving up on myself. That's kind of the reason why I didn't want to go. But after everything that's happened, I think being with family is just the obvious move to make. And why not? I love my family. And they'll welcome me back. They've constantly been telling me come back. And I think I'm ready to actually think for once and do the right thing.
You are doing the right thing in that sense. When it comes to when you were thinking like it's a step back and you're running away from your problems, I don't think that's it at all. You're taking the time and the freeness of like financial burden, specifically when it comes to like being here, paying rent on your own and being on your own. You kind of take away that burden, but then you get to go back home, not think about that kind of stuff, but also just reflect on your time here and think about what you did wrong and how you can transition into something that's better for you. Because I know I did the exact same thing when I went to Georgia and I came back. Georgia was rough, man. Like, I mean, I loved it there. It was, I loved a lot of aspects down there. I loved the feeling of being alone. I loved the feeling of like having my own apartment. Like, I can literally just do whatever I want. It was my place. It didn't matter. But I think being down there with a part-time job and working from home a lot and working weird hours, it didn't make me happy because I was always stressed. It's always that thought that like, did I work enough hours this week to make ends meet? Did I work enough this week to be able to like have this roof over my head still and without getting evicted or anything like that? When I came back to Chicagoland, even for like this small amount, like 2-3 months that I was back, like I got to pull back and think about like the mistakes that I made going down to Georgia and living in Georgia with Esther for like a year. I kind of just followed Esther, and I'm not blaming anybody else for my mistakes and for the decisions that I made, but myself. Like Esther didn't force me to move down there. My parents didn't just, let me go. It's I made the decision. I moved down there and I suffered the consequences. I think the good thing about us really is that we're young, and those mistakes that we made, we can recuperate from. It may have taken a little bit of a financial hit, but we have so much more knowledge about how to work our finances and how to be the person that we want to be, specifically for like the working adult in this world. It may not seem like it right now, but it's going to be worth it later. And I can tell you that for a fact. The last episode with the dating apps, I couldn't empathize with you at all. But in this certain situation, like I can empathize with you so hard because I went through it last year. And it's just a process, and I think you're making the right decision, and I'm really, really happy that like you're in a good place right now. Compared to like episode 1 and episode now, like night and day. It is insane,
Yeah, it's a big difference. And I could tell that like I'm just in a better place. Just everything in life right now just seems more bright compared to back then. And I'm loving it. Maybe watching your dogs for a week kind of helped with that, but I'm enjoying life again. Not like, I guess that's another reason why I think Ashley, like, she's what I look forward to each day now. And I'm very, again, grateful that I got to meet her and talk to her. and still get to talk to her every day. I love it. But I'm just I'm in a good place,
Yeah, that's good. That's awesome.
and I'm excited about my future again.
Mm.
It's been a long time since I would say to myself, I can't wait to see what the future holds. It's been a long time since I said that.
I just wanted to like pry a little bit. Like, how long do you think it's been since you said like that statement that you're excited about the future?
Probably since September, October-ish,
So like what? Almost 6 months.
almost half a year. I've been living with, fuck, I'm tired of this day, or like, fuck, I can't wait for today to be over.
Yeah.
Now it's just like, I can't wait for fucking tomorrow. Let's see what fucking life holds today. Yippity-da-doo. But again, that's not just thanks to Ashley. That's thanks to Kevin, Michelle, Nicole, Esther, you. There's everyone from work.
Mm.
There's just a lot of people that I need to thank. And I'll be eternally grateful for. Because I wouldn't be here if it weren't for them.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate your thanks. I really do. But it was, honestly, man, it's nothing.
See,
You know that. It's nothing.
like that's the thing. Like you don't get it. It wasn't just nothing. That's why I said earlier when I was saying thanks to you. You guys might seem like it's, you guys are just helping me out. But you guys saved my life. Literally. Like you being there for me, like helped me step away from that cliff.
We didn't do anything you wouldn't have done. If the roles were reversed, you would have been there for me in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's what we are. We're best friends.
I don't know, kind of seeing that transition, like from when we started this podcast, like it's insane. Like I'm being serious. Like it's crazy. Like I'm so happy that like you're in a better place and you're actually finally like ready and happy to move forward. Because there was a time there where I was just like, ugh, I'm a little worried, or a lot of it worried.
I mean, I don't blame you. I'm the one that made you worry.
But again, like I think a part of me was like, in my head, I related it back to my time in Georgia. I'm like, okay, it sucks. It's gonna be awful. But if you take it any way that I did, and you learn from your experiences, and I'll be there to help you to learn from your experiences because I went through it. But just being able to have that knowledge is moving forward. It just makes everything so much easier.
Yeah, like in that way, like I know what not to do now.
I guess the next question is like, what kind of things that have you already kind of realized about like your time here in like the suburbs of Indianapolis?
Yeah. Don't act like you can take care of everything.
By yourself kind of thing?
Yeah, like especially when you have help available,
Mm-hmm.
don't let your ego get to you. Like I could have asked for help a lot sooner to like prevent a lot of things for going into, more depth, being more lonely, being all that. I had the resources there. It's just I let my own ego, my pride, whatever, get in the way of me asking for help. Because that's just who I am. I hate asking for help. I love helping people, but I hate feeling weak.
It's like that saying is like, you don't know how strong you are until you know when to ask for help. Like, personally for me, I think I was in the same place as you. Like when I was in Georgia, it was like, I didn't want to ask for help. I didn't want to ask Esther for money or anything like that because I just felt like I made the decision and I should be able to provide for myself. And I think that just added more stress and more like feeling of loneliness,
Yeah.
And I think the hardest part for me was to like realize like I can't be here anymore. Like this financial burden that I have and I put on myself, I just can't handle it anymore. And I think it was supposed to happen where Esther and I were supposed to do distance for like another year. I was supposed to move back to Chicago and then she was supposed to stay in Georgia. and we were supposed to do that for about a year. I honestly didn't want to do it, but I think financially and just from my own personal mental health and our relationship, it would have been better if, one of us had a full-time job wherever and the other person like was still trying to find themselves and kind of move forward with their life, and they couldn't, and the person needed time and like space to do that. And it wasn't that like our relationship was toxic or anything like that. It was just the fact that I was there and I was struggling to find something like a full-time job.
Well, I'm happy you came back too, because driving fucking 16 hours to go see you that one time, holy shit, that killed me.
I don't think you did it twice by yourself.
I did, and I wanted to die. And the first time I went with Moro.
Yeah.
Well, both times it was with Moro, but the first time when I came to your place, I had Moro, and she had a stomach bug.
Oh, God. That was bad.
So that's why it was 16 hours. Originally, it was supposed to be an 11-hour ride.
Yeah.
Because I went nonstop. But I couldn't go nonstop, and it ended up being 16 hours because I had to stop at almost every fucking rest stop so she could diarrhea. She actually pooped in my car.
I remember that.
It was so bad. And I can't be mad at her. Like, she had a stomach bug. I can't get mad at her.
Yeah.
And then she pooped at your apartment. Oh, I was terrified. I woke up at fucking 5 a.m, went to Walmart, bought the scrubs, bought everything, cleaned everything, cleared all the evidence before JD and Esther even woke up. They didn't even know. But she shit again. All that hard work just for her to poop there again. Oh.
But hey, the good thing is like after you left, like she was fine.
Like after like a day or two though.
Yeah. But she slowly got it better.
Yeah. Guess.
Yeah.
But I'm really glad you guys are back too. I don't know I can't even imagine what it would be like if you were still in Georgia and I went through something like this.
Oh, I don't know either, man.
That would be rough.
Yeah. Because even if we were in Georgia still, like Esther and I wouldn't have gotten the opportunities that we have now. Like if we didn't move back to Chicago, and if she didn't get the job at the university, and if I didn't go and help her move in, like there's no telling where I would have been right now too. Like when looking back, everything just made sense in the way that it happened. But honestly, a part of me was like, why didn't it happen sooner? Yeah. Like, cause like a year ago today, I was still in Georgia. That's like the craziest part. Like, I didn't move out of Georgia until like June of last year.
That's right. It seems like so long ago, though.
So long ago.
You know why? It's because we see each other more often now. And like we just build all these memories. So it's like, oh, that was so long ago, you know?
Yeah, but in all actuality, it was like a month ago.
Right. Because like back then, we would see each other, what, once a year or something? Now we get to see each other. We live 2 hours away from each other.
Yeah.
We get to see each other every other weekend or something like that, as long as we're not busy.
Yeah. Just so we get, like, a big reason is because of this podcast, but also just because.
Just because.
Just Esther wants to see Moro, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm an afterthought.
I mean, for her, yeah, but for me, it's just like Moro's the afterthought, so don't worry about it.
That's right. That's all that matters. Man. See, just doing this podcast just brings my energy up. Makes me feel so much happy. Wow, I can't English.
I think that's gonna be the episode title.
I can't English.
No, I think it's gonna be I am so much happy.
I am so much happy now.
I like that. I think that's gonna be the episode title.
I am confusion.
I love how you're using that ever since I used it the last time I was here.
I said that to Kevin.
Yeah.
He called me stupid. He's like, that makes no sense. You're stupid. I was like, well,
it's a joke.
It's a joke. Relax. Is you confusion? Like, I feel like an idiot sometimes when I talk to Kevin because like he doesn't have the same sense of humor as me and you do.
Yeah, I mean, just earlier we were pretending our dogs were podcasting with the mics, so.
We're idiots. We are idiots.
It's not good. But I think that goes like a different conversation. It was, when you act like idiots or like act childish, I think it makes life so much more fun.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, granted, like you and I can talk about serious conversations. We have talked about serious conversations, but I feel like if you're so serious and so adult all the damn time,
That's no fun.
it's no fun. You just become a boring robot. You know what I'm saying?
That's why we get to goof around. God, I just burped. It was so
That was like
bad.
that was like the most elegant burp I've ever seen.
Like, oh, it tasted bad.
Ew, that's disgusting.
Fucking pizza. But yeah, as I was saying, like we could goof around, have fun, and I think that's what makes us so close.
I think so
Because
too.
we can both act like that towards each other, and we don't judge each other for like, oh, why are you acting childish? Like we both know when we should be serious, when we shouldn't.
Yeah.
And I think that's what brought us together in the first place. Well,
Yeah,
no,
'cause-
not in the first place.
No, for the first place, the reason why we got brought together was because of Roxy.
Fucking Roxy.
Roxy and Daniel.
Oh, Daniel. Fucking Daniel.
Dude, I heard he's like a scumbag.
I heard too.
Yeah. I told you.
Yeah, I heard from you.
Yeah, and
And
my
I
mom.
believe it.
Yeah,
Fucking scumbag.
because I heard it from my mother, and I'm like, Jesus, that is not an okay thing to do.
Yeah. But yeah, like being able to, have that person so similar to you. I mean, shit. Back then, Mom used to introduce us as twins because we were just so fucking similar to each other. It's like our birthdays are 5 days apart.
Yeah, might as well just meet in the middle.
Yeah, Mom would just be like, "This is my twin son that you've never met." I was like, "Hi, I'm part of the Kim family. I'm the oldest brother here."
And that's when we would use your Korean name because all my family's sibling names are Jays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chun.
June.
It's Jun. And then I love the fact that like Josh calls me Hyung,
Yeah.
Jemmy calls me Oppa,
Yeah.
Jocelyn calls me idiot. Like
But
I just feel at home.
Jocelyn calls me an idiot.
See, I fit right in. Like just a part of that family, and I love it. Like, oh, I feel stupid tonight.
Nah, it's late. It's late.
You're right. I should be asleep by now. Technically, I should be asleep by 8. This is me staying up really late.
You're like an old man.
I wake up at 3. Come on now. Come on, man. And the past week I had 3 dogs. I had to wake up extra early so I could get all 3 of them out for the walk. Oh. It's okay. It was worth it though.
Yeah. It did look like you had a really good time. And there's a reason why Andrew watched our dogs for a week. We can get into that the next episode because our actual next episode, we kind of have an idea of what we want to talk about. And yeah, I think we'll just leave it a surprise for you guys.
Oh yeah. The main reason was for me to use their dogs for TikTok videos. The truth comes out.
So you could be TikTok famous.
TikTok famous.
But then it's going to be like people are going to expect 3 dogs and you're only going to have 1 now.
Do you know how many videos I saved in my drafts so I could just keep on posting?
How many?
I saved like 12 videos.
Oh my God.
So at least by the next time I see you guys,
You get like
I can
another
make
6?
more content.
Oh my God. You're just going to confuse everybody on TikTok. You're going to be like,
I bet you they're already confused because my first few videos are my nephews. And then it was just Moro. And then the next like 20 videos were all 3 of them.
yeah.
They're like, this guy had a midlife crisis and bought 2 more dogs.
Got rid of his kids and got
Got
2
rid
more
of
dogs.
his 2 nephews, picked up 1 dog. Had another midlife crisis, picked up 2 more dogs.
I think like this is like a good time to end the episode because I think we're just going off in tangents.
Yeah.
I think the overall like kind of theme about this episode is like we just wanted to thank you for just listening into our random tangents and things like that and just kind of reflecting on why we started this podcast in the first place and kind of move forward with that and continue it because I think we're both slowly going into better places in our lives and and we're making moves forward for both of us in our adulthood life. And I'm hoping that the experiences that we do go through will help as many people as it can. You know, if you're like a 45-year-old individual that has their life set, that's great. This is probably not the podcast for you, to be completely honest, because we're still struggling. But for all you guys that are listening and actually get something out of it, just want to thank you for kind of following along on our journey, and just hope it gets better, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, listening from episode 1 to now, it's fucking awesome how much like it's changed and how much more I'm enjoying it now.
Yeah, and just how natural this conversation like decides to go on. I was kind of not frustrated or upset, but kind of like ugh, about like the first couple of episodes, was because it felt so robotic and structured, you know, and scripted. But now it's just we just kind of edit the stuff that we want out. Yep, we just talking.
That's what it's all about.
So I just want to take this time to thank you all again for taking a listen to episode 6 of Up Until Now podcast. If you guys want to follow us and get more of Up Until Now podcast, I don't think we're going to do Facebook and Twitter. We just don't have the time or the love for those two. I think those two are dying in my personal opinion, but we are going to be on Instagram. And if you guys don't have Instagram, feel free to email us. Our email address is upuntilnowpodcast@gmail.com. Please feel free to send us an email about more topics to talk about or things that we can do better with our podcast, and same thing on Instagram. And if you can take the time to like, comment, subscribe, and rate us on Apple Podcasts, it really does help. It helps us get like our podcast out there, and more people can see it, more people can listen. And hopefully we can build some kind of community here, because I know that a lot of our struggles that we're going through is pretty worldwide. I think with the age demographic that Andrew and I are a part of, and I don't know, I feel like our podcast isn't too awful to listen to.
All right, and we're great people. We could be friends. No?
Yeah, we can be e-friends. We can meet online.
Yeah, I'll be your e-boy. not in a bad way. Just well.
Well, I just want to thank you again, and this is just a catch-up episode, kind of a reflection episode for us, because for us, the episode 6 is when we really decided that, you know what, we're going to start putting our podcast out there, and we're going to start like hosting, and hopefully going to get this out as soon as possible. And just wanted to thank you for this journey that you guys kind of have been following us on. And yeah, just want to thank you guys again, because I didn't think we're going to get past episode 3, and we are on episode 6, and we're just going to keep this train rolling. And I think the next episode is going to be a fun one, specifically for us two, because we have a lot of experiences, both together and separate, about the next topic. And I think you guys are really going to enjoy it.
I'm excited. I can't wait.
Spoilers, we are recording the next episode tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
Just because we're here. Just again, thank you for listening to Up Until Now podcast, episode number 6. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.